Today on CCX News, a closer look at the missing middle, why some Maple Grove planning leaders have concerns about the makeup of the city's housing stock. Thanks again for joining us. Discussion over a recent rental townhome project is sparking conversation about the needs for more housing options in Maple Grove.
When we talk about having housing in the middle or housing types, we aren't building a lot of affordable townhomes, and that is the affordable housing now in Maple Grove, is townhomes.
The Maple Grove Planning Commission heard plans for a rental townhome project in the northwest corner of the city. Plans previously called for a 200-unit apartment building, but higher construction costs and interest rates no longer made that project feasible.
If we're taking out an apartment building that was going to be more of an affordable housing solution, I can tell you from being a business owner in the community that we can't get workers into the city. They're taking jobs closer to their homes, and Maple Grove doesn't have places for these people to live, and apartments are going to be cheaper than townhomes.
To combat housing affordability, you need to have a multi-tiered, more diverse housing stock, and putting more apartments is not what the city of Maple Grove needs. You guys have made that loud and clear to us.
The Maple Grove Planning Commission recommended denial of the rental townhomes, largely because of parking concerns. The City Council has the final say on the project. Meanwhile, a section of Maple Grove where a slew of new homes are being built will have some natural resources for families to enjoy. As Delaney Cleveland reports, crews in Maple Grove just wrapped up a massive restoration project that officials call a rare opportunity.
At some point in the not-too-distant future, a section of northwestern Maple Grove will be a fully developed neighborhood called Evanswood.
Typically, the development gets driven by infrastructure being in place, so if utilities and roads are in place, that makes it possible to do the developments.
Derek Ashey is Maple Grove's water resources engineer. He says that while construction crews are still hard at work building Evanswood, he and his team have focused their attention to the surrounding environment.
So this area prior to development contained the South Fork of Rush Creek, which is a stream that's listed as impaired by the state of Minnesota. It's a degraded water body, we'd call it.
A degraded body of water close to people's homes is less than ideal. However, with every major project, developers are required to provide dedicated parkland. That created an opportunity for Ashey to treat the South Fork Rush Creek stream.
We just don't have opportunities to do a full mile of stream in the suburban metro area. It's just rare.
Ashey, along with several other partners, spent the better part of 3 years restoring the mile-long stream that runs through this area, while also treating the surrounding ecosystem.
So the stream restoration is about 5,500 feet long. We've added a number of enhancements to the stream, beginning with protecting the banks from what we would call mass wasting and erosion.
Their work included enhancing the habitat for pollinators, containing floodwaters, and allowing runoff to filter through the wetlands. It all comes at a cost of roughly $3 million, with money coming from Maple Grove, the state, and the Elm Creek Watershed Management Commission.
It is a large project, requires a lot of funding, so we're grateful for all those partners.
A large project that future residents of Evanswood will soon be able to enjoy and appreciate. In Maple Grove, Delaney Cleveland, CCX News.
Maple Grove officials say the project is substantially complete, but they also plan to do restoration work on the adjacent forest. That work includes ash tree and buckthorn removal. In other news, the Brooklyn Center Hotel is being sued, accused that it had plausible knowledge that a girl was being sex trafficked at the hotel. The lawsuit, reported by the Minnesota Star-Tribune, accuses the owners of the Brooklyn Center Super 8 of facilitating her traffickers and benefiting financially from the crime. The suit says the victim was 13 years old at the time of the crime, and it occurred 11 years ago. Attorneys for the victim say the hotel had reasonable opportunities to spot red flags. They gave her traffickers accommodations beyond what other lodgers would typically receive. A U.S. district judge let the case proceed. Nearly 10 years after tragedy, a memorial for a slain Crystal child is set to be complete next month. Barway Collins was killed by his father on March 18, 2015. He was 10 years old. Barway lived in Crystal, just across from Becker Park. Now a Barway Memorial is being installed at Becker Park, right where this concrete slab is. It will be a bronze statue of Barway at play. Organizer and former Crystal Council member Jeff Kolb says he's grateful for the community's support.
It was almost effortless, and that's not a testament to us in any way or our fundraising ability. I think it's a testament to how much this story resonates with the residents around here.
The memorial will be installed within the next few weeks. It will be dedicated with a ceremony at 10 in the morning on October 5th. Anyone in the community is welcome to attend. Osseo's police chief has been serving as the city's interim administrator since spring. The city council is now moving to make his dual role a permanent fixture. Shane Michelson took over as interim administrator when Riley Grams resigned in May. Now, in a split vote, the council decided to begin negotiating a new contract for Michelson. Council members Juliana Holtstrom and John Hall cast the two dissenting votes. Finally, this segment, some of the most spectacular moments captured by viewers in Maple Grove. We'll leave you with some of the winning photos from the city's photography contest. Enjoy.
The past two state class 6A football champions went head-to-head Friday as 2022 winner Maple Grove faced last year's champ Centennial. Chaz Moose has highlights from a tight battle.
Last year, Maple Grove was the only team that beat Centennial in their state championship winning season. It was the Cougars that struck first on Friday night. Caleb Melzer powers his way in from 2 yards out to put Centennial up 7-0. In the second quarter, the Crimson answer back. Caden Harney calls his own number on the sneak. Then with a minute left before halftime, the Cougars' run game comes up big again. Melzer bounces off a tackle and finds an opening. He gets loose and goes 35 yards for his second score of the game. It looked like the Cougars would take that 14-7 lead into the locker room at the half, but the Maple Grove 2-minute hurry-up offense went to work. Harney with a dime downfield, he connects with Reggie Williams from 53 yards out. After snapping the ball to stop the clock, Harney on the move again, rolling right, looking like he's gonna run, but he finds Dylan Vocal, who toe taps near the pylon for 6. A big drive from the Crimson, 14-14 the score at halftime. In the second half, there were several long drives that took up time. This one by Maple Grove ended in a touchdown. Chuck Langama takes the toss, 22 yards for the touchdown. The Crimson remain a perfect 3-0 with a 21-14 win over Centennial.
I think this week was great for us, seeing all that adversity in the first half, and really helps the guys when we're able to push through and smoke out an ugly win. An ugly win is definitely better than a loss.
In Circle Pines, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
After many years of Cooper having the upper hand, Armstrong has turned the tide in the Robbinsdale district rivalry in football. The Falcons look to continue their winning ways against the Hawks. Cooper at home to take on Armstrong in the Robbinsdale district football rivalry. After an early Cooper fumble, Kevon Johnson takes the handoff and bounces outside to score a 16-yard touchdown for a 7-0 Armstrong lead a minute and a half in. Late in the first quarter, quarterback Dawson Franke fakes the handoff and keeps it himself down the right sideline. Franke wins the race to the end zone for a 40-yard TD. Armstrong's up 14-0 after one. Cooper battles back, though. After an Armstrong fumble, Beckham Van Voorst throws the strike to Samaje Young for the touchdown, and the Hawks quickly tie it up 14-14. But Armstrong just keeps scoring. Johnson plunges in for the short score as the Falcons put 3 more TDs on the board after Cooper ties it. It's 35-14 Falcons at the half. Third quarter, and Franke throws to the back of the end zone to Eli Kempel, who just comes down in bounds to make it 42-14 Armstrong after 3. Johnson adds an 84-yard TD run early in the fourth as Armstrong beats Cooper for the 5th straight time. 49-21 Falcons is the final. After getting thumped by a very good Maple Grove team, the Osseo football team bounced back to crush Coon Rapids in Week 2. The Orioles squared off with a Champlin Park team looking for its first win on Friday. Champlin Park ready for action on their home field to face Osseo in prep football. A rough start for Osseo, the heavy rush on the punt, and it results in a safety as the ball's tossed out of the back of the end zone by the punter. It's 2-0 Champlin Park. A short time later, a similar one. This time it's kicked, and Ashton Kapitsky gets the block, and Michael Bruggers the recovery for a touchdown. Champlin Park leads 9-0 early. After a third misplay on a punt by Osseo, good field position for the Rebels, and Austin Tucker takes it in for a 13-yard touchdown run. Nick Keenan's Rebels lead 16-0 after one quarter. It's 19-0 Champlin Park at halftime. Third quarter, and Preston Telke throws out to Preston Mensos for the score and a 26-0 Champlin Park lead. The Rebels crush Osseo 40-0 to improve to 1-2. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.